Hello and welcome to the coverage of the men's final, the 2017 Australian Ultimate Championships. We are here, sunny Runaway Bay in Gold Coast. We have the Wellington Wildcats versus the Colony Pillage. Two teams taking very different paths to the final. My name is Stefan Van Boxtel, and with me in the commentary box we have Rob Swan. Welcome.
Hi, it's great to be here. It is an absolutely lovely day. Sun shade is absolutely at a premium. Everyone's covering the tents, but I don't think it's going to affect the game. These teams are in top shape.
Yeah, what we've seen with the conditions here, we are fairly close to the coast here, and we are on a little bit of a slope up here, finding the wind hitting this field 10, and it has been coming towards the camera the first 3 days, and today eased off. We've had a pretty calm morning. It is a gentle, calm breeze.
Yeah, it's affected a lot of the games throughout the tournament. Has really made good throws a premium. Has really differentiated between teams with weak ability to move the disc into the wind. It's often been less intense in the morning, so it might pick up across this game, and that'd be interesting to change.
Yeah, so looking at this Colony Pillage squad coming from Sydney, you're also a Sydney sider, Rob.
Indeed I am. I play with the Sydney team bench.
What are you seeing as their strengths today?
Colony have been a really dominant team for a long time. They have played in many finals and have to some extent monopolised that experience. They're one of the most experienced team in high-pressure final situations because they're there all the time. And I really think late in the game that will show. Part of that comes from a lot of their top-end talent. Rob Andrews is a croc walking to the line at the moment. There are a number of other Australian representatives across this team, and they've played in Worlds campaigns. Tom Tullett has played with Johnny Bravo at US Nationals recently. These players are no stranger to high-intensity situations, and late in the game, that can mean a lot.
What we often see with the Colony team getting towards day 3, day 4, going to a shorter line, and they've got stars who just get it done. They're so tight. They've played so many international campaigns and experienced lineup. Coming on the other side of the fence, we have the Wellington Wildcats coming from across the ditch from New Zealand. They've previously, about a month ago, they won their own national titles.
They've won 3 of the past 4.
Correct, yeah, absolute powerhouse, New Zealand Ultimate. And it's interesting with the team coming, they're obviously a good team, but they come anonymous, essentially.
We played them very recently in our quarterfinal yesterday, and yeah, we really came in and they were sort of an unknown, and we had to spend a number of points trading, just sort of feeling out, looking what their offense is looking for. It's sort of an unknown factor. If Colony have done their homework, that'll help a lot. And it also, they met earlier in the tournament, and there was a 13-10 victory to Colony. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And we'll see what they're going to get up to.
Absolutely. Look for key players, the Andrew Neil, Aaron Neil combo, the brothers. You've got Panu will have a lot of disc, the assistant coach, and they've got young, fast legs, a lot of energy. Look out for those plays. And their team are willing to put it all on the line. They're really pumped. Their coach, Gary Jarvis, the absolute veteran of New Zealand Ultimate, he will have them G'd up, ready to go. And we are very close to the start of the game. We have Colony Pillage to the left of screen in the dark, Wellington Wildcats to the right in the white, and Pillage coming out on offense.
Nathan Stacey picking up the disc for Colony, centers it to Tom Tully. You'll see that a lot. Colony in a vertical stack, Rob Andrews striking deep immediately. Thomas Vo comes under and sends a long floating ball that's dropping short, just over the head of Gav Moore, cleaned up by Gus McDonald, unmarked in the center. Centers to Tully. Bit of static. Gavin Moore, longs legs, toes it in. That's a nice, easy offensive hold for Colony, even if the shot wasn't great.
Tullett find himself without a mark on the end zone line. Not sure what the confusion was, but you need a man you mark. Mark your man.
Yeah, you can't do that. If you let Tom Tullett hang around with the disc without a mark on, you are going to have a very difficult time.
And that's the game that Wildcats were afraid of going into the game. They were really conscious that Colony wants to go big and long, and they've got the players to do it. They've got throwers, they've got receivers, the two ingredients.
Exactly. And particularly I think a lot of teams going downward will tend to favour that. It's very difficult to stop, and if you put a lot of your defensive resources covering a long ball, it opens up that underspace.
It's worth noting with that breeze that we mentioned is going to the right shoulder of the camera, coming across field, but marginally creating the downfield to the right.
Yeah, it'll be... Right, so it's a correction. That'd be McDonald with the catch on it. Okay.
Just coming in.
That's a nice upwind pull from Colony.
Experienced head of Panu collecting that pull. Set up in the horizontal. Neil looking downfield. Eldridge finds Panu. Struggling to gain ground yet. Neil finds Robertson floating around the center. Very integral part of this lineup. Foul called.
Right hand high, Bobo. Right hand high. Right hand high, Bobo. Right hand high, Bobo. Right hand up, right.
Robertson bringing that disc back in, finds Stevenson. Big member of this team. Hines, the birthday boy yesterday, looks down the line. They're really struggling for the gainers at the moment. Robertson crammed in. Big around, but the defender's there. The bid.
That's a huge block from Sean O'Mani. This will be telling. This is a upwind offense for Colony. If they can muscle this one in, or even get it really nice and clean, that'll be absolutely a testament to their ability to win this game. Stewart with the disc in the center. Finds O'Mani around. Bit of bump on the mark. There's a foul called. Colony having a bit of trouble working. Wellington not afraid of the deep shot at the moment. Centers to Connell. Throws long, finds Gav Moore. That's good, that'll work for them. Colony clearly have the throwers to push it upwind like that. The throw was dipping a bit at the end, but it's a shot from halfway. That's good.
Rory Connell's throw game has gone just out of this world. It's improved dramatically. He's now a key thrower on that team.
Absolutely. He's a very, very large man, and
The biggest hands I've seen.
fills a whole disc, and has played to his strengths for a very long time. He's just been a dominant deep receiver. But then he went to the gym and got huge, and is now an amazing thrower. So we'll absolutely be putting in a lot of work for this Colony team. That break for Colony right out of the gates is going to be pretty demoralising to the Wildcats offense. If they can try to keep it clean, keep going throughout this one, that'll be really very interesting. Probably a very experienced and mentally strong team.
Yes, it's not like it's their first final, like we said a month ago. Wildcats were here.
Absolutely. And they're coming off the back of that success. I think they can do it again. Tarlet with a pull. And that's a brick. That's with that win, is looking to drop it right in the back of the end zone. Give them Wellington the longest field. But you win some, you lose some. And that is down the bottom of the hill and rolled very far away.
Yeah, I think the lesser wind conditions to previous games is going to advantage Colony. The Wildcats team from a windy Wellington, their throws, the extra skill that they have in those conditions really shines through when the conditions are that bit blowy.
Yeah, I mean, a bit more experience at it. But Colony, no slackers. Wellington are going upwind here, and let's see if they can get it done.
Neil to bring the disc in. Disc tight on the sideline. Big mark from Andrews. Struggling for the break. This defense is so tight.
Very tight defense. Colony playing very under. Andrews is a croc. He's very, very good, and he's very large. Put on an impressively tight mark. Andrews with the disc. Finds Hardy in the middle of the field. Back to Andrews. Looks long over the top. It's floaty. Again, cleaned up by Gav Moore. Dishes it quickly to Teller for a goal. Colony's top end talent know how to get it done. They are a lot of good players. Gavin Moore will take that grab 9 times out of 10.
I really thought they had a chance to actually get a turnover there. Of course, you have Gavin Moore, former Croc, just emerging out of the stack.
Yeah.
Big man.
Yeah. That's, Colony is a team comprised of many players, and Wellington got a sniff at that. I think they'll be disappointed they turned it over, obviously, but a lot of boys under that disc, and, that lowers the percentage of the catch, and that's how you get turnovers.
That's the way they just got to keep going. There's at this point, they're a couple of scores down. They're athletic and they can put some scores on fast.
Absolutely. I mean, we're under no time pressure. This is a full 100-minute game, and Wellington are just going downwind offense. They'll look to sort of start the bleeding, put this one in nice and easy, and then get back on track.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see a more confident Wildcats here, trusting their abilities and their cuts, looking to stretch the field.
Yeah. Manny with a huge block on the first point. Let's see what defense Colony bring here. They could change it up, but it's probably going to be just man. And that's Tullett. Match defense, sorry. With another brick. Jeez. 0 from 2.
Yeah, we really appreciate the comments from home. To that person who's listed off every nickname for the Wildcats, I've spent this weekend learning 20 new names, learning 20 on the spot again, probably asking a little bit too much. We love the comments. Please keep sending them. Let us know what your predictions are, who you think is starring, what you think is happening in the game. We try to read them all. Panu goes long to the space. Oh, there's their first score. Wildcats looking strong off that brick mark.
That is what they want. That is just too easy. That's a tough matchup for Dave Andrews. He's been roasted deep, and Wildcats. Just a simple good cut. They'll be happy with that. They're getting real fired up, and I think that they'll feel a lot more in this game.
Yeah, that score went going to one of the youngsters, the really athletic youngsters that we have with the Wildcats, Michael McAdam, and they're full of them. I've seen the play yesterday, the semi-final. I think Seb Hamilton starring, Isaac Anderson strong, Lachlan Robertson commented at the time. Anyone ending in un seemed to be fast, young receiver and strong running. Love their play, and got the comment from the coach before the game that they need to trust their legs, trust their young legs and young ability.
Yeah, that's going to make a big difference in the sprint. Is just the ability to continually grind and grind, cut after cut after cut, will mean a lot. Nathan Stacey catching the pull. Send us to Tom Tullett. Rory Connell free deep. Tullett looks it off, finds Andrews on the swing. Finds Connell in the open space. Gavin Moore on the under. Andrews again, still on this sideline. And that disc is down. Pushed down by the wind to Tullett coming over into the end zone. This is a golden opportunity for the Wildcats.
It is Neil, the Andrew Neil variety, I believe, the older brother. Moves the disc off the sideline, puts it out to space. Dole looking for the inside, finds Fernando. His hand injured yesterday, but he's back in the action. Tidov Smith looking strong.
Colony calling from the sideline to guard the unders, the space closer to the disc.
Indirect foul.
Tidov Smith looking for a dump. The mark is very tight, but Neil to Wiley. Back to Tidov Smith, give and go. That breeze very minimal at the moment. Not many opportunities though. Stevenson, sorry. Well, those two marks, you got Tullett, you got Connell marking the underfield. Tough.
Colony working hard to shut these down. Wildcats still able to reset the disc.
Stevenson looking long. Finds Neil working incredibly hard early on this game. Not many options. Anderson moving to Stevenson. Very versatile young players. Back to Neil. Pops it back to Tidov Smith. He's lots of possession this game. He goes wide. Robson from one sideline to the other.
This Neil Moore matchup is very difficult for Moore at the moment. Neil getting a lot of touches here. Wildcats inching towards the end zone.
Tidov Smith tries to find space. Tullett picks it out of the air.
Comes off his man for a great block. That's good field vision. And he takes a timeout. That's just a great block. Really good read on the play. Come over the shoulder and get that block. Wildcats working really hard, but having to do a lot, and that makes opportunities like that arise. Great players like Tullett will just get a block like that.
I think Tullett calling that timeout there is a sign of yeah, they're working hard on that defence. They're finding that they were under pressure to get the turn.
Absolutely. And these are elite athletes, and they're all pushing each other to their limits here. They're all working very hard, and this is a great time for Colony to take a break, probably set an offensive play, and just recuperate. They're working hard on defense. Need a nicer rest.
They're a team that loves their offensive structures. It'd be interesting to see which way they go with that in this point.
Absolutely. Colony, a team known for discipline.
Such a shame, though, for the Wildcats working so hard.
Yeah, that's because there were not a lot of cuts coming out of the stack. Testament to Colony's defense there. Neil being forced to restart this over and over.
We have the pleasure today, you might have heard the voice then before, of Ruben Berg, game advisor. Welcome to the game, to the commentary, Ruben.
Thank you. It's a beautiful day here.
How are you seeing the game so far? Good spirit?
Yeah, a very good spirit that I've seen from these two teams throughout the tournament so far. And a few picks, but that happens sometimes in Ultimate. Hopefully that can be sorted out throughout the game.
Thanks, Ruben. We have the pleasure of being able to hear the chats on the field when Ruben joins. The game advisor, they're watching the game and ready to offer opinion or advice or guidance on the rules if asked for. Also, a line and down calls as well.
Tyler bringing the disc in, scurving over the top to Andrews, who swings across to Moore. Moore sends it long. He's got Stacey and Vo at the back of the end zone as he manages to keep his toes in.
As just mentioned, those line advisors, game advisors can offer an opinion on line calls.
Yep. It's just another set of eyes. Their opinion is not binding unless the play is accepted. And that's gone out the back. That is tough from Colony. It's good of them to look off that very early deep strike. Don't want to be imitating the Wildcats, but eventually just a bit too far in this wind. Wildcats with another chance, but also a whole field to work.
Big mark. And spectacular effort from Dole. He tries to throw that disc back into play. I think if he actually got it back into play, it was legal.
Yep, he did look like he jumped from in the field and threw it before he landed. Tyler with the disc again, goes sideways to Vo. Finds more on the break side in the end zone. That's a dumpstering score for you. Very clinical offense, but also a very short field. Wildcats are not going to be happy with that. It looks like when they were bringing it up the line, the first initial cuts were a couple of big, hard cuts away from the disc into that deep space, which Colony don't have to respect Neil not throwing those. Understandably, it's very hard to push the disc that far upwind. Colony just doing well to cover the unders and lock them out of the game.
Yeah, on that, if those handlers, those ones with the stronger throws, I know I've seen Aaron Neal launch some bombs, a lot of spin on the disc. If he does have that and is able to put one up, that would let the Colony defence know it's possible.
Yeah, and Neil's an amazing thrower. He was getting a lot of disc when we played them and very comfortably worked it through the zone. And it's possible that's going to work. I think it might be that Wellington treasuring the disc so much because their Colony can give them very few chances to work this offense upwind. So he's really, really doesn't want to throw a floaty disc that's a turnover and just sort of waste the chance. But they've got the throwers. They could definitely start threatening this deep space. The Colony are not going to respect those cuts until they see them come off. Norton with the pull.
That pull falling around the brick mark. Panu. Early cut from Neil. The disc goes. Close to that sideline. Oh, it pulls that in on the slide.
That is great work.
Again, Rob, on the set play, on the offense. Wildcats outstanding. That cut coming from Neil, who picked up that disc, dished it off. The big long cut. The slide. It's all beautiful.
Nottingham positioning him well to defend this at the start. Starts safe with his man, but just he's a little bit slow. But that's all right. That's what Colony want to allow. That's not as clean as it was last time, but that will play. It's 4-2. Colony up. 1 upwind break at the moment.
Yeah, I think you said earlier that Wildcats wanted to stop the bleeding. I think they have. There's just that little ebb at the moment in the game. They've got 2 on the board. It's 2-4. 1 break, like you said. Yes, the Colony's still looking strong, but that early run just slowed down.
Yeah, Wildcats not putting themselves in a great position. But they're elite players. Teams can absolutely dig themselves out of this hole. Colony might be able to hold on to this lead throughout the whole game, but 100 minutes is a very long time.
Robertson, the specialist puller on this team.
That's a nice one. Stacey fielding that, letting it hit the turf. Finds Andrews on the around. He's got Connell and Vo deep. Sends a scuba.
Oh, McAdam slapping that down. Hines. Robertson getting long on that one. No downfield movement yet. Neil jinx with the disc. Goes to the space. Finds McAdam. Back to Hines.
That's a great read on the player, Rob Andrews, and that is a block. Those upwind dumps floating a bit. Stacey with the disc. Centers to Connell. Finds Vo on the around. Andrews in the centre field. Finds Vo. Vo is solid-handed for the Barramundis. Now doing work for this Colony team. Finds Yuang on the far side of the field. Beautiful shape on that one. An even better take by Tullett.
Holy dooly, what a take.
Tom Tullett, Crocs reserve, showing off his threats behind the disc and in the deep space.
This Pillage team's so dynamic. They're so strong, offense, defense, multiple players with big throws, and those players able to bring it down.
Yeah, in the Wildcats' mind, they want to be focused on the fact that that's just a downwind hold for Colony. You can't be expecting to get turnover on those every time.
Look, yes, you're absolutely correct, and they'll be disappointed that they didn't punish the disc that get the score once they did get the turnover. But let's be real, it was an offense point.
Yeah, but again, that's they're not going to get many of those opportunities, and they have to put them in. But a great defensive block by Rob Andrews. Norton again with a pull. He's 2 from 2 upwind here. And that one's a real line ball, but that's a brick.
2 from 3.
Commentator's case. $10 says Wildcats look for a big deep stripe early. Or maybe not if they're disciplined here. Moore sitting well off into that deep space. Extremely experienced defender. Former Croc. Recently played World Ultimate and Guts Championships in London on the Dingoes that came 3rd.
Neil finding Stevenson. Looking to Eldridge down the line on the up breeze side. Wind really behind their back. Less than over the shoulder now. Eldridge over the field to Palmer. Solid. Not one to take shots. Neil back to Palmer. Neil, key player. Palmer in that space in front.
Xavier Pike playing great defense right in front of the disc. Colony aggressively guarding his deep shot, and as a result, conceding a little bit of under space.
Neil with the big around. Fantastic take to save that disc. The high release forehand though. Oh, that take from Stevenson. High release backhand this time.
Gavin Moore will guard that deep space. That is his airspace. Wildcats making some amazing plays to keep their chances alive, but reading their own press a little bit and trying to put that one in. Norton with the disc. Colony the whole field to work, and he sends it upwind. And that's it. That's a big floaty disc. Wildcats need this.
Panu palms it down. There is a call. Sideline is not happy.
Jimmy Todd Hill in the middle of that pack.
See that on the replay. Disc is high. Very, very high.
And fairly so, that's a retracted call. Not offering an opinion on the play. I'm not involved.
Great position from Panu holding his ground. Stevenson. Down the line, Fernando. With the fake, pulls his defender. Eldridge wants to pop it over the top again. Goes around to Stevenson, working incredibly hard. He's just grown through this tournament. Neil with the disc, back to Stevenson.
Make Dylan Freechild proud. Gavin Moore with a second block at the point.
Was
Wildcats.
the scuba needed?
I don't think so. I don't think he'll be very happy with that. You had great defenders like Gavin Moore and high Colony defense in the area. And you can't be speculating like that. It's going to be interesting to see what the Colony offensive strategy will look like this time. Last time in this situation, Norton opting for the immediate huck. Not a bad option at all. Stewart with the disc.
Immediate huck that did float very high. Again he goes.
Trust in the system.
Was that the same thrower going upwind before?
No, that was one of the other Dingo's handlers. One of the other Colony handlers. My apologies. Wellington again with another chance. Colony trusting in their ability to get a block.
Neil finding Palmer.
Big mark by Sal.
Oh, there's a cram zone here. Panu somehow finding free. Big mark from Jimmy Todd Hill. Take from Neil. Andrew Neil finding Palmer. Stevenson, defender hot on his heels.
Xavier back with a great bid. Wildcats are taking the break side.
Palmer wants the central space. It's a wise choice. We've been forced to the sideline quite often here. Panu moves to Neil.
Big mark by Todd Hill.
Give goes coming from the handlers. Fernando very dynamic from that stack. I haven't seen too much of him yet. Casual backhand to Stevenson. Very comfortable with his throws. Panu. Central disc, vertical stack. Store count getting up. Neil to Panu. Small ball. Hammer over the top, aggressive. It's trailing. Pulls it in.
And that's a close one. Wildcats again with a speculative shot close to the end zone after working for so long with those handler give goes and handler resets. But points are good, and that's another one for the Wildcats.
Now, Ruben Berg, that contact call in the middle of the field, it looked like the Colony player using his teammates' advice to retract the call. Was that correct?
Yeah, that definitely looked like the case there, that he just looked around to his teammates and they offered him some advice that it probably didn't affect the play and that he should retract his call, and that's a fantastic thing that we see in Ultimate, that players assisting their own players to make the right call, and that's always the best resolution.
Yeah, that's great. And excellent spirit by Colony to it's always good to let your teammate know, because they might not always have the best perspective, particularly right in the middle of a play like that. Trust in your teammates.
Robertson bringing the disc into play. It's Blady. About 3/4 up the field.
Using the wind. Tarlett collecting the disc straight away. He's got Vo and Connell deep. Disc is floating a bit. And that is a great read. Connell doing well to pull the defense under that disc.
Again, the set play and the big receivers going long. Loving it. The disciplined play. They know what they're doing. In that case, Neil was there, and over the hands, just the misread. Really, yeah, he probably could have got a little bit closer, but he went early.
Against a receiver like Connell, you have to be going as early as you can. You have to trust that your opponent is going to make their best play at it, so you have to go as early as you can, and sometimes you go too early. But again, downwind offensive hold from Colony. Colony only up one break, and otherwise these teams have been trading. Wildcats are looking to hold downwind here as well.
For those at home, we're seeing the comments, and I believe we have 30 people sitting in a bar or somewhere watching the game. Hello to you all. Please send us through the comments. Let us know where you're watching from. We have 469 viewing at the moment. Share this stream. Let your friends know. Let's get that well above 500.
Alternate bar sounds amazing. Have a frothy for me. That's really good. I love a good viewing party. I've hosted a few myself, watching the World Championships. It's testament to the power of Ultimate. Andrew's pulling upwind. And that's a break. It's tough conditions. You don't want to concede the yardage too easily. You have to look to push it hard. But those high discs are always going to get caught by the wind.
Disc is up from Hines. Looking to Eldridge. Oh, reels it in. Quick score. Very pretty throw. That flick just sitting for the receiver.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Wildcats putting a beauty downwind to a fast receiver. Another downwind hold.
Timeout, Wildcats.
And that's timeout by the Wildcats. Probably looking to sort of take this opportunity before half to rethink what their defense is. If they play well, they could get a block. They've got a couple, but they need to be able to convert going upwind. We're going to work out how to break this stifling Colony defense.
Yeah, it's they look like they've got a chance when they go for those plays off the pull, set plays. Challenge being whether they can keep going. If it does get turned, are they going to get the disc back? And how are they going to break this strong offense back to get that upwind point that they so desperately need?
Colony have gotten a box on the Wildcats, a downwind offense. So they have to change something. They can't keep throwing their offense into this Colony defense and just trading. Might be that they need to attack that deep space a bit more, see what they can do with their throwers.
And Gary Jarvis will make that call at some stage. On the stream, we've got comments. We've got Mississippi. We've got Middle Earth. Welcome, Middle Earth. We've got Jimmy Mickle claiming go Ducks. Please confirm who the heck that is. Ducks, I mean. Jimmy Mickle, a familiar name in Frisbee. Share it around, get the US scene on this. Oakland, we've got all over the scene. Auckland, Mexico. Neil pulling the disc in.
That's a beauty. Stacey underneath. Finds Tarlett in the centre. Calling a vertical stack in the centre of the field. Andrews strikes deep. Fakes it off. Finds Moore on the around. Moore will throw it.
Big contest. Oh!
Andrews, too big, too tall.
Rob,
What a croc.
just elevating. He's got the vertical lead. Huge up in the air. And that's what gets you selected on the Australian Crocs team.
Yeah, Andrews, a very experienced player. Quite young, but has played recently under 23 World Championships in London, and then shortly after that, playing the Open Age World Championships, also in London.
I'm finding this play really exciting at that moment. We've got a long game happening both ends. Both teams are willing to go to the well on that play, go to their receivers. It looks like Colony happy to put a higher throw up and rely on height. And Wildcats looking to put the disc to space with their speed.
Yeah, both teams playing to their strength. You could put a disc where only your team can get it, and I don't know that anyone that wasn't Rob Andrews was getting the disc that high in the air.
Yeah, try mark that.
Tulit with the upwind pull. Much better. The outside in.
Calm hands of Hines. Off to Panu. Veteran of this team, he's played here before. Many times in Australia. Neil at the disc. And it's the zone for the first time I think we've seen. That hammer was beautiful across the Stevenson, opening up to the slightly upwind side of the field from Neil. Scuba fakes the scuba. Oh, Stevenson in traffic. Back to Robertson. Faking the overhead again. Goes to Panu. Pops it to Stevenson.
That is a tight window there. Magni and Todd Hill closing fast on that.
Yeah, Todd Hill making that a contest probably more so than you'd expect. Again, fantastic offensive play. That zone being pulled apart by the Hammers. They're very willing to go and go over the top.
That one from Neil was a real spicy one. Held it shaped nicely. Didn't wave it in the float too much. And yeah, Colony putting in a real bid to get this. Todd Hill recently played with the Barramundis at the World Championships where they came second. Amazing defender and doing really well to make that as close as it was. And that's another downwind hold for the Wildcats.
An observation in the comments. Was that the first pull landing inbounds? Coming upwind from Colony?
No, Will Norton has landed 2 in thus far.
Correct. Rob Swan all over the pull count.
Pulling is sometimes difficult, I guess, in this wind. I'm not an elite puller. I was specifically told that I was not allowed to, and I like it. But also, Norton, a stellar puller.
Yeah, players selected these days knowing that they can bring that skill to the game. It can put your team in really strong position. That disc landing inbounds meant Wildcats unable to run their offensive play as they hoped.
Just like this one. Stacey fielding it. Finds Tullett on the upline. Moore in the middle. To Vo. Back to Moore. Wildcats changing to a much more zone-like defense here. Andrews with the disc. Finds Vo again. Tullett. Vo, Tullett. Vo will exploit this all day. Goes backwards to Stacey. Finds Tullet. Moore with a scuba. Finds Andrews. Moore. Throw in the end zone. That's good patience by Colony. Just one scuba to an open player. Nice patience up and down the field. I do like the move from the Wildcats to change up their defense. You have to do something differently. Colony have consistently scored going downwind, so you have to try something new. And Colony hold to take that 8-5 to half.
Yeah, it's a fascinating tactical game that we're seeing. Coaches or leadership in the team having to make calls. They're trying different looks. Nothing's really worked in the last few points for either team defending the downwind. Like you say, got to try.
Exactly. And this is elite ultimate. These players are at the top of their game and will be able to just not turn the disc over and go for a lot of clean offensive holds. Really need to be disruptive and make your opponent move to their second option, their third option, and well-prepared teams like this will have those options available. You are going to have to do something to move them off their game plan.
Yeah, it's fascinating seeing the opinions from home about how to do that. Some saying a Colony zone should be there. Others poo-pooing that suggestion. Saying should go with man.
Colony have a 1-break lead, but it's also a 3-point lead. They said coming out of the last time they played this game that they wanted to do more of the same. When the 13-10 Colony victory last time they met, and if they want to contest the deep space and not let these numbers off, that's fine. It worked for them before, it can work for them again. 3 points the difference last time, 3 points the difference now.
Now, Rob, in the women's final, we saw Ellipsis taking that 15-3 over Rogue Block. That Rogue Block team full of Australia's veterans from many squads, not even able to put a dent really against the powerhouse that Ellipsis is. But one thing we did observe in that game, halftime did not see the men's dulo, an absolute tradition of Australian Ultimate. Here, though, we see the women coming to the line of the end zone. For those international followers, the dulo, a sprint of the field of representatives from each team.
Yeah, traditionally done, women's dulo and the men's halftime, but boys dropped the ball, probably being too serious Frisbee nerds.
From my observations, it was a lack of someone taking responsibility, but we're off. The whistle blown. In white, running ahead. Kiralee Coote coming through for the win. Oh, Woody's Choice, the CEO of Ultimate Australia, picking the winner. Kiralee Coote, a rookie, taking the dulo. Strong performance. Starting slow, power through.
You don't hit full pace as you get to 40 metres and runs on as long as that. Oh, and here we go. Good stuff, men. This is the men's dulo. Making up for 4, that is good.
And they're off.
Dennis Tran out in front, but don't want to call it from here.
Unable to see a clear vision who won that. Looking for a ruling from the line. Still waiting on the ruling.
Dennis Tran, Western Sydney's greatest athlete, taking away the victory in the coveted dulo prize.
Now, dulo runners, wear your jerseys. Help us out here on the sideline. I think I saw Brendan Ashcroft, a former multiple winner of the dulo, crowned Australia's fastest player in ultimate. Running all on the sideline on the other. Not sure he was a official competitor.
I heard an absolute third, fourth, fifth-hand rumour that his sprinting buddies tell him that he's bad at sprinting now, i.e., only top 10, not 2 in the country, because he's spending so much time being really good at frisbee. Fun facts.
Look, I'm happy for that rumour to be true. He's an absolute asset to Australian ultimate. He's very quick. And again, that speed and movement has improved dramatically, and that's got him a spot on the World Games squad.
Wildcats coming out on downwind offense here. A nice hold would let them close the gap by 1. But that's not enough. They need to go upwind. Otherwise, Colony will hold this lead to the end. It's not a large lead, but win by an inch or win by a mile. Winning's winning. Red Diesel, fast and furious. Norton, statistically Colony's best puller thus far, going upwind. And that's a beauty.
Panu looking downfield. There's a straight on force. Neil moving out the stack. Often starting in the stack and moving back to a thrower position. Pick called.
Colony changing to a backhand force.
Oh, great take from Hines. Over the top to Stevenson. There you go. Pulls it down.
There you go. Wildcats doing what it takes. Only showing a bit of depth in that line. Good defenders like Hardy getting a run. Recently played for the Guyanese. Colony, many national representatives at many levels. I'm sure the Wildcats do as well.
Yeah, they're really proud of their young talent. I think they've got 6 players in the under-24 squad. New Zealand Ultimate, and of course many players from their from the senior New Zealand Open squad. And Neil, I believe, someone correct me on the stream if I'm wrong, I think it was Aaron Neil playing Next Gen Tour in the US as something a little bit different. International, not international representing, obviously. Neil to bring this disc in.
Landed well, Stacey fielding. Centering to Tulip. Finds Andrews around. Looks off Tulip. Gets out on the comeback. Connell in the field cut in the centre. Looks long. Finds Yu Eng. Just over the top of Tulip.
Oh, that could be crucial.
Yep, closest to halfway. Wildcats with a chance, coming out in a vertical stack.
Aaron Neil wanted to pump that. Instead finds Titoff Smith on the sideline.
Losing yards, but resetting.
The power dump. Oh, that was Titoff Smith. Someone else over there on the other side line before. Yo. Pick called. Few picks, but otherwise not too many calls this game.
It's been good ultimate.
McAdam, disc in hand, looks straight to his dump. It's tight, it's tight. Neil, too good.
Tullett coming off the front, leaves his man open deep.
Oh, that's the break!
And Wildcats are back in it.
That's incredible play from Wildcats to get the disc, get the turn, hold possession, and then put it to the end zone. Neil wanted that long shot a few times there. The conditions at the moment, the wind is very gentle, and he knew that and wanted the space behind. Eventually he sees the cut from Dole, puts it to the space. That's very strong from Wildcats.
Absolutely. Good looking poach from Tullett off the front of the stack there, looking to catch a sneaky block on those upwinds. Has worked for them before. That's what you have to do. But a really great shot upwind, and skillful throwers, worked it till within striking range, and this is now a really tight game.
Yeah, congratulations to the commenter at home calling that as the break point. Well done. Kudos.
Wildcats will be stoked. This is a big shift in the game. Just come out of half and take 2 in a row. They'll be looking to not let Colony go upwind here.
Yeah, this breeze coming slightly more across field now. Slightly still a downwind point.
Bit diagonal. Colony trotting out exactly the same line. Stacey Sent picking up the disc.
Connell cleaning up.
That's an amazing layout block, but Connell
Injury call.
saves the day.
Gee, how crucial would that turn have been?
Amazing work by the Wildcats. Very, very great read on the play and very athletic bid. Colony had a man there though. But the Wildcats will back themselves in to get another block. Colony going upwind, but we'll see what they do.
That looks like Ho substituting onto the field. Carl Ho.
Connor with a disc on his own end zone line. Finds Tullett around. Finds Andrews.
Oh, that's the turn. It's on the end zone line. Very short field. Neil, quick give. Finds Ho.
That's amazing work. What a power sub. Come on, score the goal.
Rob, do we have a game on our hands? Huge response from Wildcats.
Yeah, they've equalised the score. It's 8-8. Colony looking stressed here. Not a great... They won't be, extraordinarily happy with that. But that kind of play from Andrews is not something the Wildcats can rely on.
Yeah, I think that the intensity coming down on the mark caused the first turn. That was a very uncharacteristic throwaway. Really, I'd call that nearly unforced error on the throw.
I can believe that.
Now, this line here, have we any changes from the line that was just played 2 points, I believe?
No. Colony backed themselves in athletically and skillfully. They will, with a lot of strong throwers on this line, a lot of good receivers, and they will look to just do it right this time.
Oh, I'd love to hear what Coach Gary Jarvis said there. I think it'll be along the lines of, settle boys, you've got done the hard work.
Exactly. The next team to take an upwind break will be in a very, very strong position, but Wildcats absolutely back in this game now. Stacey fielding the pull. Finds Tullett. He's got more going deep.
Hines contesting.
And that's a great grab.
Too big.
Colony bringing out the big guns. Didn't want to mess around. Made it happen. Moore starting his cut from well in the stack, but not to be outpaced.
Look, Hines going long against Moore, you'd put your bet on Moore. Hines generally find himself more on the as an offensive player, disc in hand, safe hands.
Yes. Well, Wildcats with 2 players on that disc, but Moore just going up early and strong. They won't be too mad about that. They'll still be riding this wave, but Wildcats looking to hold downwind here.
Now, Rob, what is interesting, we haven't seen a lot of Fernando. He's a key player, lots of scores, defensive blocks. He was getting a lot of work on his hamstring before he twice returned to the physio.
Yeah, it's a shame. In our game, he was definitely a physical presence. Got a couple of blocks, punished errors. Wildcats will want him out in the field, but particularly like a hamstring injury is a very tough one. It's not something you can play through. He will. He's not at 100%. He's going to drop off the pace of this game. It's tough. Andrews at the pool.
Stellar pull. A lot of coverage there. Panu with the disc in the centre. Neil fakes under. He's the only one working the central space. And he's marked so tightly. Panu struggling to get the disc off. Must be high stall count. Jacks it. Wide forehand. Oh.
That is great work by Colony to force that. I think they have changed to a flat mark now, specifically looking to stop that early huck. Or probably putting a tight one on, and they'll have a discussion about this.
Contested stall.
Contested stall, and it was thrown away on the sideline, so it's going to be taken from the sideline with Rory Connell.
Colony with a short field to work it, and a strong throw with the disc. Finds Hardy around to Andrews. Toddle at the front. Looks for more, and one of the Wildcat players gets in front.
There's a foul called on the throw.
Uncontested. Lefty around from Todd Hill to Andrews. Calls a timeout. Science tells us that 4 out of 5 on-field timeouts result in a turnover. But let's see if Colony can be the 1 in 5 here. They've got a short field to work. They'll look to come out in a set play.
The senior players from Colony really getting excited on that sideline. They're really pumped for that turn. I think they're trying to G up there, boys. After a couple of breaks, they want to wrestle this momentum back now.
Absolutely. And what they want to do is just pick up the pace and try and raise the pace and intensity of their defense on these downwind points. Not because they need to get a break every time, but because that is what is going to get a block. They want that block, and it showed. Wildcats look like they were under a lot of pressure. I think the flatter mark from Colony is making those huck options a lot harder, and that's what they're looking to do straight away on this downwind points. Wildcats needing to make a stand out the front of their end zone here. Dropping a break here wouldn't be the end, but it would be good.
It's an absolute cracker here, Rob. We've got 2 quality teams and 2 quality teams ready to fight for a win. It looked early like Colony was going to stretch the lead, coming out 3-0. Huge credit to Wildcats to bring that back, and we've got an absolute cracker of a game on our hands for those at home. Share the stream. Let your friends know that we've got an incredible game live here, brought to you by Ultimate Australia.
Colony setting their offense first, and then the Wildcats moving to play defense. Andrews with the disc, looking at a vertical stack more off the front.
Robertson thinking he had a clean D on that, and Rob Andrews disagreeing.
Roberts immediately taking off towards the end zone.
So is this that call that we were talking about yesterday? That if I was set up here in a legal marking position, he comes across and hits him into my hand and strips himself?
Sure.
Is this a turn?
Sure. I thought you weren't perfectly still
Okay,
from where I was,
that's
so.
fine. I was just...
Yep.
Alright.
All good.
Uncontested foul coming in on 0. Magni at the front of stack. Andrews resetting to Connell. Back to Andrews. Andrews a solid receiver, doing a lot of handling work for this team. Finds Black on the around. Andrews again. Finds more on the around, but there's a pick. Colony looking to grind these unders out. Finds more again. Muscles that around to Jimmy Todd Hill in the end zone. And that's an upwind break by Colony. That's a really good response. They've put themselves back in the power position here. They're 10-8. Wildcats will be disappointed with that, but there is still plenty of game left. Wildcats only have to go right to left on your screen.
I'm loving that battle between Robertson and Rob Andrews. Robertson, a very tenacious defender. He's always up in the action, getting very long there and putting the pressure on.
And it's a good idea to put your best defender on Rob Andrews. Because if you don't, he'll take the game out from underneath your feet. Andrews back at it again, pulling it downwind for Colony. Wildcats looking to go upwind here. At least they're starting on offense.
Aaron Neal with his hand up on offense, ready to receive this pull. Colony taking their time. It's Blady, it's fast, it bounces. Handler moves it on to Palmer. Todd Hill not allowing anything downfield. He wants Neal. It's Blady. It's going to be a tough grab. Oh, Neal's up to it, though. Hammer to the space. Finds Stevenson. Straight away pulled the trigger. Oh, that's an incredible look. The vision. Eldridge dumps to Robertson. Too much hustle. That was a shot into the end zone.
That's close. That is close. Colin will not be happy with that defense, but unpunished. And Andrews getting a hand to it, but unable to close his around it.
Look, I knew that would be difficult, but I saw Rob Andrews running and thought, yep, this is in the bag. It's tight. It's so tight. Neal struggling to get it off the sideline. Across field. Finds
powerful flick.
Palmer. Aaron Neal, the younger brother, dinking. Finds Eldridge in the center of the field. It's a contested disc. That defender right on the hip.
Huge block. Todd Hill to Tyler. And Hardy with the bookends.
Pick called. Retracted.
And it's players will have talked about it and realised that it didn't affect the play. And the goal will stand.
What a dynamic point. That was exciting.
Unbelievable work by Sebastian Hardy to get that block. Recently played on the Goannas 2015 in Wellington.
He was on the hip of the cutter there, and from the sideline, you can see it. The thrower maybe not as aware, or maybe not as aware of Hardy's ability to get long, get the hand in the way.
Yeah, that's very difficult to see.
Yeah.
That was an incredibly athletic play. Not a lot of players can do it, and very few of them can do it all the time.
I did, though, love that play from Stevenson, taking that grab and straight away pulling the trigger to the opposite corner, upwind. Big play.
And what a beautiful shot upwind. But Wildcats just whiffing that last one. Norton pulling upwind again. That's a beauty.
Tidolf Smith, young star of this team, finds Neil with space in the middle. Robertson working hard. No one further downfield. Foul called. Tullett coming through.
Tullett saw that huck coming.
Robertson back to Hines. Safe hands. Robertson's going long. He's pushing. He's got the space. On the lead. Gets big. Huge layout. Oh, that's incredible.
This is a game. This is truly a game. Both teams absolutely putting their bodies on the line, making huge plays to make this happen.
Robertson putting all cards on the table the last few points. He's defending, he's offending, he's throwing, he's working the field, he's working all over the place.
Yeah, and it seems that this game won't be decided by massively athletic players. Both teams have the athleticism and the skill to do that in spades. For either team to take this away and really throttle out this game, there's going to be different things happening. It's going to have to be a change, or else a strategic change will let someone take control of the game here.
Yeah, we have the scores at 11-9 to Pillage's advantage. Pillage before that point getting a couple on the board to stretch ahead that just a little bit, just a tad. A little bit of space. Very aggressive play, and Wildcats are up for this.
Pull knifing into Stacey, finds Tullett. Finds Andrews around. Finds Vo. Finds Andrews. Wildcats threatening a lot more here. Tullett with a disc. Finds more across. And Andrews in the end zone. A lot easier than the last one. More to Andrews is a proven combination. If you want to win games, keep that up.
Watching those cutters downfield, the movement, you just look in awe. That is incredible. They always have a cutting option deep. That's their strength, and they want to use it, but they just have option after option after option.
Yeah, they're a well-drilled team, and all of the players will be working hard to vacate that deep space, keep out of there, because that's very threatening space. That's where Colony want to be attacking it, especially on these downwind shots. So the players will keep coming under and keep vacating that.
Rob, in another note, we have hit 600 on the stream.
Amazing. This is a massive clash.
Yeah, and I think everyone's recognising that. We've got a lot of interest coming from overseas, from New Zealand, obviously. For their home team.
That's unsurprising. These are, the dominant team from New Zealand and a dominant team from Australia battling out in the finals here.
Yeah, we've got a lot of interest, and yeah, we're loving this game. We've got primetime seats here in front, and we're happy to bring it to you.
Beautiful runaway bay of the Gold Coast. Later this year to be the host of Australian University Games. Norton pulling again.
Hines to Panu. Otherwise, experienced heads. He wants to go big, but he finds Dole. Dishes back to Tidolf Smith. Got a big force on him. Hammer across field. It's dangerous. Hines! Oh, that's special. Stevenson dishes. It's around. It's for the score. Working hard. Oh, that's a costly error.
Yeah, saw his other player coming in, maybe a bit of a hesitation, bit of miscommunication. That's tough. But no one's perfect, and Colony have a chance to go upwind here and stretch their lead. Norton coming in with a disc. Finds Toddill, finds Tullett. Shoots a laser to Moore. Finds Tullett around. Who shoots long, looking for Stewart.
It's a down disc. That disc dropping on Stewart.
And Wildcats
Neil
shooting
stepping up.
deep immediately.
Stevenson's got the height advantage. He's got body position. Oh, very big in the air. Sits it up to Dole. Catches it at its highest point. Stomps that in.
Yep. And that's how Wildcats want to be doing it the first time, every time.
Whew, made that harder than they maybe needed to. They had a clean opportunity earlier, but not made to pay in this case. Tullett definitely wanting to look long every time he had the disc in your hand there.
I think that's the Colony strategy. If they see that they want to be attacking this deep space, even when they're going upwind, and they back in their strong throws to do it. And that's reasonable. The throw was nearly good. Stewart just couldn't quite make the play on it. Colony previously going upwind have picked up the disc and immediately hucked it straight off that end zone line even. So I think Wildcats are doing well to close off that first look from Colony going upwind, but costly.
We got down there, yeah! Early pressure!
We've got a huge sideline here. You may not see it on the camera. Across field, we've got the spectators spread out to our left, to our right. We've got some of the women's final winners sitting next to the commentary box here. I'm sure they're pretty chuffed with their day. It's a high pull.
Stacey fielding. Centers to Tullett. He's got more deep again. Not by much. Finds Andrew. Back to Tullett. Colony working hard at this vertical stack. Finds Vo on the break side. Andrew's going deep, looks off. Finds Tullett in the center. More wide. And puts that just in front of Tullett.
Tullett's not happy.
Wildcats with a chance here.
Serious opportunity. It's a high early disc. The receiver pulls it down. That's too strong.
And Wildcats break back upwind. That was a huge grab, really important. Gav Moore got a big piece of that, but the catch came in anyway. Going up strong, two hands.
Neil's throwing caution to the wind. He's throwing bombs up all over the place, both direction. Pretty sure that was him. The transition was too quick. I'm pretty sure that was one of the Neil brothers. Going long. Look for that replay. That gives it off. Oh.
Yeah, a nice safe play. Just put that in with that little dink. But yeah, Wildcats back in it. Another upwind break, and we're even on upwind breaks here. And those are where the money is today.
Saw some incredible play from Seb Hamilton in the semi-finals, helping their team take down I-Beam at 15-10. Incredible in the air as well.
Yeah, Wildcats a very, very strong team. Played them in the quarters and did what we could to hold out their throws, but they didn't often give the disc back, and there's a bit of a breeze, but the throws are strong and clearly not that troubled.
Now, at this point in the game, Rob, where do you think the crowd support is at?
Well, I think people are just in it for the spectacle here. This is an absolute cracker of a game, and that's what the punters want. I think Wildcats could be an outside favourite here, but we'll see how the game goes.
Trans-Tasman battle.
Stacey fielding the disc, sending to Tyler. Finds Connell around. Slip, okay. Looking for Tullett here. Finds him with an inside flick. Big flat mark cutting off his huck. Finds more with an inside. Looks to reset. Finds Vo in the middle. He's got players under. Resets backwards to Tullett. Tullett finds Todd Hill around. Lefty to Tullett. Tullett getting every other this and calls a timeout. Not happy with his options going upwind, knowing that they need to take an upwind break if they want to take control of this game again. Timeout called at 4 in the store count. Colony having done well off their on-field timeouts thus far. Seems likely that they want to focus on making space. Wellington have to be respecting the deep space here. Todd's a powerful thrower, and even with a big flat mark on the front, he's going to be able to shoot it long with the mark. The mark has to work really hard. Going flat across the front is going to make it much harder for Tullett to huck, but opens up a bit of the around space, gives Colony time to reset. Wildcats will be hoping that Colony will be doing enough resets that eventually a mistake will appear. Colony coming back in their standard offensive way, trusting in the structures. Fernandez for the Wildcats back on the field. It's good to see. Wildcats poaching off the dump. Connell's free. Connell with the disc. Finds Todd Hill coming under. Goes around to Andrews. Goes around. Finds Tullett. Shoots long. Finds Andrew in the upwind. And that's amazing work by Colony. Good composure after the timeout, put it in without turnover. But that's exactly the throw that the Wildcats are looking to stop. They know Colony want to shoot it deep, and they know the throwers can push it upwind. There have been 3 upwind breaks after half. Teams taking Colony, obviously, with a early lead, upwind break on the second point. And then teams trading, sort of feeling each other out, sort of working what each club wants. And then both teams more able to effectively exploit the space and move the defense around. 3 up and breaks after half, and now we're at 13-11. Colony will be could likely be looking to hold this game out. Put in the easy downwinders, get to 15, win by 2. Wildcats looking to go upwind. Tulit with the pull. Colony showing a bit of depth there. O'Mani back on after a screamer of a block in the first point. Second point.
Rob, that disc floating well out of bounds. Rubenberg helping to bring that disc back. Panu calling brick. Bringing it back to the brick mark.
Wellington coming out in a horizontal stack. Hardy on the mark.
And there's a Tullett poaching that lane. Neil streaming across from the sideline. Pulls the trigger. That's going to be a battle.
That one not as good as before. Moore gets under it. Passes to Tullett. Finds Hardy around. And then misses Andrews down the line. Wildcats go unpunished and look to go upwind again.
Palmer wants to move that disc on. Finds Neil. Andrew Neil. Somehow squeezes the space. Stevenson. Too much even for Stevenson to reel in.
That's tough. Wildcats. 2 up, coming out on offense. They really want that hold here. And they've had 2 cracks at it. And the throwers are powerful, but it is difficult. Tullett walking up to the disc. Colony in a vertical stack. Todd Hill isolated in the lane. Andrews off the front, immediately strikes deep. Tullett looks it off, finds Todd Hill. Back to Tullett. Flips it over the top to do Manny. Finds Andrews in the centre. And that's an inside shot that just goes past Gav Moore. Both teams playing a bit loose here. There's a lot of turnovers in this point. Wildcats looking to go upwind here. Golden opportunity.
Hines wants to look downfield. Panu cutting for him. It's going to be tight. Finds him on the run. Looks
it off the first time, throws it the second time. Wildcats go upwind. It's 13-12.
What is happening here, Rob? This is a huge effort from both sides, bringing their A game. Giving the spectators what they want. They want a contest. They get it.
Yeah. And this is an absolutely tight game. Both teams are showing that they can now go upwind. It's going to be about who can hold their offense here. Teams will need to lock down. There can't be that many turns in a point.
Now, Colony, Colony, you've played with a lot of these players, looking very Tullett central.
He's very good, is the reason.
That's a good reason.
Yeah. Crocs Reserve did a lot of work for Johnny Bravo in the US when they made semis at the US Nationals. Played on the Dingoes. And before that, the Barramundis. And in between, Goannas. Very credentialed player, very good.
Was it Australian Male Player of the Year last year?
And what a player. He's been doing a lot of work for this Colony team. Wildcats unable to close him out of the game. If I'm the Wildcats coach, I need to close Tullett out of the game. I need to find someone who can push him away from the disc and just sort of really disrupt this Colony offense.
I think they may be looking the other way. They know Tullett is going to run riot, but they're shutting down his options, making those throws more difficult. And we've seen those turnovers coming. 3 on that last point. Not all from Tullett.
Ideally both. As the pull comes in, Stacey Fields finds Tullett. Stacey in the centre. That's a screamer.
Here we go, here we go.
Wildcats with a chance to equalise.
Neil to the disc. High disc to Stevenson. Oh, he takes the grab. There was a call. I like the grab anyway.
Got to secure that.
Yeah, I wonder if
that's a turnover, Colony retract the call and tough luck Wildcats.
Yeah, I wonder if the Colony players realised that they seemed to click 2 seconds later.
I think it was a pick call as well. It was super open.
To the end zone. Dole with the break.
In front of beating Andrews. It's a 13-13 game. Getting tight at the end here.
No, we talk about Tullett being a key player for Colony. On the other end of the scale, the Neal brothers playing, I think, at just about every point. They're having their fit young squad rotate around them with those other safe, handlers, veteran handlers, Hines, Panu, Palmer, those guys moving the disc on. And we have a serious game on our hands.
Yeah, Wildcats looking like they're changing up. We were saying that the Neals are doing a lot of work, and Wildcats might be changing up their line here. No. Keep playing your best players. They back themselves in athletically to do this for the full 100 minutes, and there's only a few points left.
13-13, game to 15. I think we're more likely to hit score cap and then time cap.
Yep, both of these teams scoring very efficiently downwind. Definitely we're going to reach points cap before time cap, unless one of the teams pulls something new out that manages to slow them down.
A big pull from Andrew Neal. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's sits floating just outside the white line.
Stacey reading it well. Tullett picking up the disc. You can't really stop him doing that.
Notice McAdam on the back of the stack has the big job, and Rory Connell.
Yeah, he is also sitting quite well deep. Probably will be looking to switch off and onto another player and help deep if required. And Connell gets it under. Finds Andrews. Looks off it around to Todd Hill. Finds Moore in the open lane. Finds Tullett in the centre. Finds Connell around. Big flat mark from the Wildcats here. Hassling him. Goes around to Stacey. Tullett being pushed away from the disc. Tightly marked. Stacey resets to Vo.
Pick called. Didn't affect the play, so the disc will stay with the thrower.
Vo with the disc. And turfs that around to Tullett.
I love that Wildcat stream whenever they get that turnover, wanting that big option. Ho, holstering for the second. He saw the dive, saw the defender. Neal looks at Tittle Smith, looks him off, finds Ho, who returns straight to Neal. Ho, down the line, looks, he wants to break that force. It's a fierce force from Todd Hill. Finds Neal, pick called.
Not on the player of the disc.
Oh, gee, it's a touch this. Tullett.
Tullett collects. Saves the team. And there's the foul.
Yes, cupcake.
Tallett's done well to get that back for his team. Getting late in the game, casual on the around. Solid handle. Tallett centers to Todd Hill. Finds Connell around. Left into traffic. It's blocked. Wildcats.
The energy of the
Going
crowd
again.
picking up. Fernando returning. Hasn't played a lot of points with it. Fairly sore. Looked like a hamstring earlier. Uncontested foul by the signs being shown. Timeout called. That is a timeout called by the Wildcats.
Not a bad option. Wildcats offense here have to put it in. That'll take us to 14-13. But Wildcats would then be going downwind for game.
Rob, we're sitting here. We're tight. We have the scores at 13 apiece. We've got the tenaciousness of Wildcats and the class of Colony. Can you call it at the moment? Would you dare?
It depends what happens in the rest of this point. If Wildcats can go turnover free, upwind on this possession, then I believe that they can just go downwind and score, right? If they manage to do it now, Colony will have to respond with the same. But this is a crucial, absolutely crucial possession. Wind's a bit strong, and it is affecting me a little bit, but these teams are strong, and Wildcats have been able to put it upwind, so they've done it before, they could do it again. And the wind's also is reasonably steady. It's not particularly gusty, so a good thrower will be able to adapt to that and even use it to their advantage.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what Wildcats do out of this. They've had their set plays going downwind. What can they come up with going upwind? How are they going to get free? It's Fernando with the disc, who's a strong thrower, not one of their strongest. Can he break a huge mark? I'm sure they're going to put someone fierce on him.
Depends what sort of defense Colony play. Colony likely to trust in their structures and see what they can shut down with their match defense.
Rob Andrews with the job on the mark.
Big long arms. They'll be hunting a point block here.
Big matchup on the dump. Moore versus Neal. Pops it, somehow finds space. Wants along, finds McAdam. Foul called.
Huge bid from Connell to come through.
Okay, I was only here to pick up. Cool. I was just wondering if you had any thoughts, but I'll leave it to you two. I think that we had our hands at least on it simultaneously. I'm not going to deny that there was contact. Yeah, if you're calling a foul, I'm not going to contest it, but if it's a strip, I'm contesting.
Tyler, shut up!
I definitely had very strong control of this for at least half a second before you hit. Okay, I believe you. No contest.
And that's an uncontested foul. Great spirit of this tight portion of the game.
That's a fantastic matchup between Rory Connell, veteran of this team, and the young McAdam.
Yeah, both hugely athletic and will make the plays when it counts.
Oh, we're tight in there. We find Tito Smith. Neal Moore getting the better of him this time. No. Neal finding the disc, finds space. It's the forehand. It's floating across. There's numbers. Raffle it up. Getting big. not able to bring it down.
Fernando behind that with a really good read, but the Wildcats player with a hand on it. It's one of the. That's why they're trying to avoid going upwind, and that's one of the first that sailed into the air for the Wildcats. Andrews with the disc. Shoots a flick long, looking for more. Milks it, still outside the end zone. It's got Tullett streaming. And that's a goal.
Tullett working very hard chasing that. And that score that he takes in there, that brings Colony with an opportunity to close out this game at 15-13.
Welcome to game point. If Colony go upwind here, that is the game. And what a battle it has been thus far. There's no reason to suspect that Wildcats won't bring everything they've got to this last point here.
Oh, Rob, this is a game and a half. We're treated, and we are absolutely on the edge here. What is Wildcats going to bring? Now, these two teams coming to this final, very different paths. Wildcats slipping into the quarters, close contest, and battling through, beating the top seed of the opposite pool in Brunch, taking down I-Beam, and making their way to the final here. Pillage beating Mammoth, who's looked strong all day, and in the quarters beating Hoss.
Yep, both teams have shown their class. They're here in the big show. Wildcats here probably going to do the same thing. Now is not the time for a wild defensive change because if it goes wrong, that's it. Wildcats will want to hold this with no turnovers. This needs to be clean for them. They need to get themselves on the even with Colony and then play the universe.
Wildcats going to their O-line. Palmer to Panu. Stevenson free on the side. Thinks about the shot, holds the trigger. Under to Neil, looks, he wants the long, not on. Panu, jinking under behind the disc. Panu looking, stall count getting high. Palmer behind the disc. Finds Stevenson working tirelessly up that wing. Stevenson going long now. Neil thinking about that. Hammer to the space. Stevenson dumps to Robertson. Robertson. Hines takes that, but there was a pick called. Pick called before the throw.
Wildcats still in possession. They want to show patience out the front here.
Heart racing. This is intense stuff. We've got Wildcats trying to tie this up at 14s. Pushing towards a universe point. Palmer on the end zone line. Puts it. Aldridge.
And here we are.
Oh, my goodness.
14-14. This is universe point. Colony going downwind. Putting on their strong line here. Wildcats have to push this one upwind.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the scores at 14 apiece. We have Colony Pillage, Wellington Wildcats coming all the way over from New Zealand to join us. We have the Australia representative, the New Zealand representative, the top teams of this tournament. The very last game of our 4-day tournament here. This is some incredible play, and we are absolutely in for a treat here. What can these two teams bring?
It's been a long road. Most of these teams will have been training for a very long time. New Zealand Nationals 1 month ago. Colony picked their team and started their training in late November, early December last year. So it's been months and months of effort and grinding. Years for many of these players before. Time cap goes,
sounds.
but this was already the last point. And this is what it comes down to. Colony receiving the pull with Stacey,
crowd
Vo,
gets what they want with a
Moore,
huge point.
Todd Hill, Tullett, Connell, and Andrews on the line.
Big defensive line here from Wildcats. They're going to push this.
Pull and shorten in. Tullett picking up. Immediately shoots long
Big.
for an extremely free Vo.
Oh, that's the game!
Takes the grab under pressure. Makes it happen when it counts. Colony are your Colony Pillage, are your national champions 2017.
Rob, what an absolute stellar game we've been treated. That's incredible play, and we could not get closer. Really, it ends up with Colony going back to the well, how they started the game with their set plays going long, and Wildcats unable to stop that long cut. They're taking the end zone. Wow.
Amazing. Both teams are striking long downwind very, very, very well. Wildcats striking long upwind a bit more than Colony. Colony managed to grind it out, but in the end, Colonies are the victor.
We've seen some incredible play. We've seen the stars from Colony pick up and hold on. We've had continual pushes from Wildcats. They just kept on pushing and pushing and pushing. Breaks, upwind, continually trying to get that scoreline back in their favour. Neil brothers, I'm not sure how much more they could do, going fearlessly.
They've earned themselves a visit to Melbourne. It was absolutely a stunning athletic contest. Both teams absolutely working themselves into the ground, making incredible plays all over the field, and that's as close as it gets.
Take a deep breath here, and probably for you at home, thank you for joining us on the stream. It's been an absolute privilege to bring you such an epic final, one that we'll remember for a very, very long time. Pillage continuing their domination of winning nationals. Wildcats taking up the challenge, getting as close as you possibly could to knocking off the champion team that is Pillage. Rob Swan, it's been an absolute pleasure.
It's been good to be here. It's a beautiful country, and this is an amazing ultimate.
Yes, that's us signing off from the sunny Runaway Bay complex here on the Gold Coast. We've had a fantastic tournament. Please go back and review, have a look at your favourite teams' games that were on the stream, and that stream brought to you by Ultimate Australia and Gold Coast Tourism supporting this event. My name's Stefan Van Boxtel. From myself and the broadcast team, we thank you very much for joining us for all the streams, especially this epic final. Thank you.
I need to piss.
Hey!